And our fight fans, once again from the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, here we go. This bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division. The 3 judges scoring at ringside are Adelaide Byrd, Al Lefkowitz, and Herb Santos. And when the action begins inside the ring, referee in charge, Russell Mouton. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing solid black trunks, he weighed officially 167 pounds. His professional record stands at 11 victories, including 9 knockout wins, 6 defeats, and 1 draw. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, here is Dangerous Mouton. And next is opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red, trimmed in silver. He weighed in 172.5 pounds. This seasoned veteran of 24 professional fights has 24 victories, no defeats, 21 big wins, coming by way of knockout from Flint, Michigan. Here is the undefeated Anthony the Dog Dirrell.
Center ring, gentlemen. Okay, trunks here are good. Anything below this line is a foul, gentlemen. You understand? We went over the rules in the dressing room. I remind you that I want a clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. God bless. Touch up.
Okay. So it's all been reviewed. And there's Anthony Dirrell coming off the layoff. Anxious to be back in action. Mouton coming off a loss in February. 8-round decision. Got 2 guys who can bang. Let's see if they come out and do that right away.
Dirrell is a very athletic talent. A lot of speed. He relies on timing. We'll see how a lot of times a long layoff affects a guy's timing. We'll see how it affects him. He's got a guy in Mouton who's not afraid to engage one bit.
So for Dirrell, very important to use this height advantage. Pretty significant.
Oh, absolutely. His height advantage and his overall athletic ability and foot and hand speed, you know. Mouton is the kind of guy who's going to try to work his way in, make the fight physical, make the fight rough. Dirrell can time him. A good left hook work landed on the inside by Mouton. Dirrell can time that aggression if he's sharp enough.
Good body shot here by Dirrell.
The words cancer free. And back of Dirrell's shorts, overcoming cancer. And then, like I said, speaking to him a couple of months ago, he said he come back from a motorcycle accident, which when you finally make it back from one thing, and he ended up crashing his motorcycle, and he said, you know, that made him stop riding, though. And, I guess it starts putting things in perspective.
He said somebody pulled out in front of him in traffic, and he was lucky it wasn't worse. Especially when you're the motorcycle and the automobile connects with you like that. So he has stared into the abyss, so to speak, twice.
Yeah. The thing about riding a motorcycle is, you know, you don't have the option to stop short like you can with a car. If you stop short, you go flying.
Uppercut here by Dirrell. That was a nice move by him.
Very athletic. He's very similar in style to Andre, his brother. Andre's obviously a little bit further along in his career, has been anyway. They do have similar. They try to do similar things in that they both use their athletic ability. They both can switch stances, and they both have a lot of speed.
Good uppercut, a sneaky one on the inside by Mouton. Good uppercut by Dirrell. Good exchanges here. We thought these guys would bang, and they've come out that way.
Dirrell giving Mouton a chance and he stays in his wheelhouse. You just keep him right there on the outside of the jab. Maybe time him. You're going to catch those hooks, time them with a counter uppercut or something. He's got to make the speed work for him. And he is. And there he goes doing it. He doesn't even have to give Mouton a chance to come back like that. He's better than that. But a good shot. Mouton really working on the inside.
Good left hooks as these guys engage. Stylistic fight that we thought we would see. So Dirrell and Mouton mixing it up in pleasing fashion at the end of round 1. Some action from that last round with Dirrell opening up, and that was a good uppercut and the left hook. He put some pressure on.
And again, he's got the speed to dominate if he wants to, but he's allowing himself to lay on the inside a lot of times and allow Mouton to come back. And of course, Mouton will oblige because Mouton's looking to fight the whole way.
And Mouton wants to get inside that jab and go to work. Good body shot here by Dirrell. And then a sneaky uppercut after the jab by Dirrell. I like that.
Yeah, he's noticing Mouton has his head kind of leaning in a little bit. It's kind of front foot heavy. You can time a guy like that with an uppercut. Good
body work by Mouton, and here comes Dirrell trying to manhandle him here. And even though Dirrell has the height and reach, he wants to show he's the tougher guy.
Yeah, a lot of times he's letting his machismo get the best of him. I mean, it's working out for him here, but he's got to be careful when he fights better fighters. I mentioned that he tries to do similar things to his brother Andre, but he actually tries to be more physically imposing than Andre. Andre strictly tries to box most of the time.
Get him up.
Good work inside here by Dirrell.
Stop! No. Just the punches out.
Double jab out here by Dirrell, coming up a little shy.
Right there, Dirrell has a chance to catch and shoot. What I mean by catch and shoot is catch your shots on the arm block and use that same hand to come back with a counter, because if you're throwing a punch in Mouton, you can't be blocking at the same time. So Dirrell can counter from the same side he's catching a shot on.
Now, where does holding the guy's arm go as far as the catch and shoot? Because Dirrell's getting away with holding on to the left arm.
He was, but now they've just traded both guys with both hands there. So both guys not shy about working their way in there. Although, like I said, I think this better serves Mouton, even if Dirrell gets the better of some of the exchanges. Better serves Mouton because on the outside, Mouton wouldn't be able to work at all. On the outside, if they were on the outside, Dirrell would be the only one to be able to work.
Good left hand here by Dirrell.
He's successful here, but it's just something to keep in mind when he makes progress to future opponents.
Sometimes we'll have a guy tell you that, yeah, I like being on the outside, but if I can beat him inside, then I've got him twice, two different styles.
I'll tell you what it does do, Dave. It makes it more exciting for us as we're watching.
It is a good fight to watch and to call as these guys slug it out and get to the end of round number 2.
Okay, you see some action from the last round. Both guys not shying away from exchanging at all. See a short combination from Dirrell, countering and coming back. But again, both guys swinging, letting their hands go. Dirrell got the better of that exchange.
And Mouton tried to fire a left hook all the way from Houston and get it to land. And that is something that even though the trainers might frown on, it's exciting for the fans still. And he's trying to get everything into it, and these guys are mixing it up.
Yeah, exactly. And now you see Dirrell was back to the ropes. Well, the last round was more Mouton was back to the ropes. Again, what do? They walk right back up to each other, chest to chest. No jab, though. Again, I'd like to see Dirrell use more his jab because he has the athletic ability to jab on the outside, but it seems like he doesn't respect the power of Mouton staying on the inside.
So he's comfortable fighting Mouton's fight.
He is, but I look at it as repetition makes perfect as far as getting better. You know, you get used to doing this against a guy like Mouton, and you may do it against a guy where it's not convenient for you to do it against him. So you want to work on the things that make you better and improve you in fights like this, so that when you are fighting better opposition, it becomes second nature.
There's a good uppercut by Dirrell as he works on Mouton here.
He's getting the better of these combinations, these exchanges, regardless, although Mouton is live in there.
To kind of point out something, though, Paulie, that in the back of a lot of guys' mind, even if a guy's not a big puncher, not a lot of knockouts, that deep inside he would like to be And so he might stray from that boxing style once in a while just because the personality of the fight takes over.
Of course, you know, a lot of times even that machismo comes into play. Good slip by Dirrell. And again, you can make a guy pay for when he slips out and he creates some space. But yeah, you know, you get that machismo. You don't want to develop that false sense of security if you're not a puncher and you stay in there too long, you know, because, you know, it could come back to cost you against the guy who is a puncher later on.
And one reason I bring that up in all of your fights, your boxing style, you have not fallen into that trap, and you've always like danced with who brought you, so to speak.
Yeah.
Staying with your boxing
Yeah,
style.
you want to be true to yourself. You have to have your own identity in there, and you have to be true to that identity.
As these guys mix it up, Dave Fontempo and Paulie Malignaggi, you're hearing his comments. He's the WBA 147-pound champion.
And Anthony Dirrell is still winning these rounds a lot of the time. You know, he's getting the better of even these inside exchanges. The reason I say this a lot of I'm making some of the criticism is because he's good enough to even avoid that. You know, he's good enough to not get hit at all. Yeah, but he's choosing to be. And sometimes, again, it could also be, hey, he hasn't been in the ring in a year and a half. He just wants to feel it. He wants to be in a fight. You know, that could be that too.
He's in one here, and it's a good one. So Dirrell and Mouton coming up upon the end of round 3 in this entertaining bout. Now stay here and listen in on the corners.
Keep banging, keep more banging. And look, you're gonna nail that fucking open. Okay? Bang, right there. Yeah, he gets close. Use your jab. Use your jab too. You understand? Use your jab. We here. We're serious. Okay? Let's go. Bang, bang,
They hate it. Just give them a quick turn, get off. Mouton. Let's go.
And we continue along into round 4. Anthony Dirrell and Don Mouton. And a good one here at the Cosmopolitan, a unique setting for boxing. Has a lot of residential style living spaces with private terraces and breathtaking views of the Las Vegas skyline. Only a different new way to do boxing. Seeing it all come together here. These guys have engaged in a crowd-pleasing battle.
Yeah. I mean, they could afford a lot of the fight in the phone booth. You know, they kind of meet up, they go chest to chest, and then neither one take a step back. Now Dirrell's starting to try to impose his jab. Let's see if he makes it up here when he starts boxing.
Left hook by Dirrell. You saw that Leon Lawson between rounds, one of the people in the corner. That's his grandfather. Trained both guys.
Yeah, he did. Brought both these kids up, Anthony and Andre, the brothers, in boxing.
Well, Dirrell is kind of engaged now, Paulie, in a non-style.
Well, you know, I think he's just trying to mix up the pace, mix up the tempo. You know, he's back chest to chest here, but you know, I think he'd be well better served here at the end of the jab, counter punching, and you know, picking his spots. He's got the talent to do it. I want to see if he does it here. He's going to take steps back.
Now, Dirrell's longest fight was a 7th round knockout. So should this go the distance, it would be his longest.
Mouton's sensing that Dirrell may be trying to avoid the exchanges because he's tired. He's trying to pick up the pace, but there Dirrell answers him with a sharp, fast combination.
And the interesting point, when you face a guy who's coming off the long layoff, as Mouton is, you might think that he could fade late.
You know, there's a lot of question marks when you're coming off a long layoff, but you know, you get in the ring and you answer them. Mouton trying to pose himself a little more this round. You know, it seems like he's sensing maybe a little fatigue from Dirrell. It seems like he's winning the first part of this round on effort. You know, just moving his hands. When Dirrell does move his hands, he's landing some good sharp shots. He's just not doing it as often as he was in the other rounds.
Drives him off here. Good left hook to the body by Dirrell. And the phone booth battle continues. Good left hook by Dirrell. Jab, we don't need a stinking jab. Not in this fight. We haven't seen much of it. So as they come up at the halfway point, they're both appealing to the referee. We'll be back with more in just a bit. And into round 5 we go, the second half of this fight between Anthony Dirrell and Don Mouton in the light heavyweight division, set for 8 rounds. And we saw some joy between these guys between rounds because of a headbutt. So let's see if that translates into a more active style here.
I don't know if they can get any more active than that. They've been chest to chest the entire night.
Then they were nose to nose with the jaw. They had to win the debate verbally too.
Yeah, they didn't want to get away from each other even between rounds.
Now Dirrell turning southpaw. We've seen him go righty. We've seen him go lefty. We've seen him go squared up in this fight. Four by Dirrell to the body.
Fair, keep him fair.
Mouton pushing his punches out in that exchange.
So he turned them around and landed a hook for now Dirrell. See, at a certain range, it's only Dirrell that lands. That's why Dirrell would be better served to take that half step back a lot of times and let his speed go. Chest to chest gives Mouton a chance, and Mouton definitely takes it every time.
So stylistically, it is Dirrell that has given Mouton a chance in this fight by fighting the style Mouton. But you can still win those fights.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's just Dirrell giving him a chance. I think it's Mouton earning his chance too. He kind of works his way in there, and like he is here, and starts working. I'm sure Dirrell would prefer it all the time. So, you got to also give Mouton credit for forcing the issue sometimes and working his way inside here.
Getting in there. I'm a little surprised we haven't heard much in the corner of Dirrell about trying to keep him outside and do what's working best.
Stop! I get it. You're pulling him down. Watch your head, but don't pull him down.
Three jabs by Dirrell, but he threw them as he was backing up, and there was a good clubbing right hand.
Dirrell better serve to turn or twist around, spin around after he lets his hands go. Mouton kind of just pushes his way in, so Dirrell can actually move his hands and kind of sidestep if he chooses to.
So they continue to mix it up. Good action on the inside with these guys. All right. And what happens after the bell is just as good.
They don't even want to stop between rounds, these guys. Here's some action from the end of the last round. Dirrell moving his hands. And again, when he lets that speed go, Mouton doesn't really have an answer for it. The problem is it's not always consistent. And here you go from a different angle, moving his hands, letting that speed go. And again, once he does let that speed go, Mouton is at that speed disadvantage. It's almost a 4-to-1, 5-to-1 ratio. The problem, again, like I said, is Anthony Dirrell doesn't always let that speed go. A lot of times he lays on the inside and allows Mouton to work him back. There's the Golden Boy himself, Oscar De La Hoya.
How you doing, Oscar? We'll get a chance to talk with him later, the Golden Boy. It's his series, Golden Boy Live, and he's right in the middle of all that tomorrow night. We'll get a chance to chat with Oscar later on. And right off the bat, Dirrell surprises Mouton, who looked away and paid for it.
Mouton gave him a smile right now. You caught me sleeping for a second, but I'm coming to work now.
Guys come in with nice records. Dirrell 24-0, 21 knockouts. Mouton 11, 6-1, 9 knockouts. As we've mentioned throughout, these guys have been in situations outside the ring that make this look pretty tame.
Yeah, which is why I guess they don't shy away from staying in that phone booth type of warfare. After what they've been through outside the ring, a little phone booth warfare isn't much for them to handle.
Dirrell, the cancer survivor, and Mouton walked away from a gunshot in the back of the head. It said he had more pain when he went to the hospital, and they shot the dye in him to see what damage had been done. Two very tough guys. They're fighting tough. And at the end of the rounds, Paulie, they also have to get in the last word. Like that counts as points.
Yeah. Got to win every second, including the verbal battle. Dirrell now back to in the southpaw stance.
Now, we talked about how
going for a walk here. He's trying to look relaxed, almost taunting now Mouton, but Mouton gets right back on him.
We talked about for Mouton, this has worked out well stylistically because he's had Dirrell in front of him. But what about Dirrell? What kind of a style has this been for him coming back, this kind of a guy?
Well, it's not a bad fight because, Mouton is durable. He takes shots like these combinations Dirrell's throwing. Yet he stayed in there, been durable, and has never looked like he's going to go anywhere, So, from one sense, it's good because, you're giving your guy a chance to get rounds after having been out so long. Your guy meaning Dirrell, if you're moving Dirrell's career. At the same time, you can see what he needs to work on. Through 8 rounds, you can see, okay, we have some rust here. We got to work on this here, but we're still doing things like this here. Good. So it's a good sort of meter fight where you can check on the meter as far as how much he's lost and how much he still needs to work on again, so to speak. So, there's things he's doing very well, and then there's things that you can tell there's a little bit of ring rust. And this, I think Mouton has been the perfect opponent to show those things.
It's a good left hook by Mouton. I think these last 3 rounds are going to be interesting as far as what they indicate about the conditioning of Dirrell. I mentioned earlier that 7 rounds is his longest, so he's coming up on that. So it continues to be a good battle as we get to the end of round number 6.
Here's some action from the last round. You see a Dirrell uppercut and stepping out, pulling back, and gets clipped a little bit with a hook from Mouton, beats his chest, telling him, I didn't feel it. It's one of those things where the ring rust kind of affects you. You're throwing an uppercut, you're pulling straight back. A lot of times he would probably have sidestepped in the older days, but he'll get back on his sharpness. This is just the first fight back.
And you would expect that there would be a lot for him to pick apart and his people to pick apart first fight back. All of the things that seem like second nature when you're fighting a lot. They're the things that you have to kind of recapture.
Of course. He's doing a lot of things well here. A lot of times when he is laying on the inside, he's varying his offense well, coming up with uppercuts, hooks, and even little sharp counters, using that speed to his advantage when he's not tired. It's the kind of fight they got a good opponent to come back with. The kind of guy who's not going to beat him, but he's going to make him work and show the tools he needs to show.
Again, Mouton is right on him, so no chance to rest and really take rounds off. And if you're a little bit slow like Dirrell was there, you'll get caught with a left hook.
He's having fun in there, though, man. He hasn't fought in a year and a half. You can tell a piece of him is so glad to be back fighting. Even when he's getting hit, he's not minding.
Yeah, you missed that give and take. You missed the rhythm.
Yeah, you missed that adrenaline of a firefight sometimes, I guess.
Marvin Hagler used to talk about how he missed the smell of the gym when he was away from there.
I don't know if I missed the smell. Maybe that was the thing Marvin liked.
Hey, that sounded old school, Marvin. Yeah. Good uppercut by Mouton.
They're talking to each other, jawing at each other now during the round.
Which means that maybe for these guys, they should have made it a 10-rounder. Either 2 more rounds to jaw at each other, or some 4-minute rounds so they can get everything in.
Yeah.
Tell you what, though, they have provided a nice pace to this fight. It's been enjoyable to watch.
Entertainment. Value for your buck for the people here in attendance.
Mouton scores with a hook. Good uppercut by Dirrell.
Mouton really working. Really, anytime he has success, it's because he outworks Dirrell. He's not as talented as Dirrell, so he's got to put in twice the effort. And in a lot of spots, he has done that.
So they continue to mix it up well as we come to the end of round 7. These guys will have one more round to settle it. We'll go back and see if anything illuminating comes out of the corners.
Where the bucket at? You got the bucket?
There is the executioner, Bernard Hopkins, the oldest man ever to capture a championship, which we saw him do a couple months ago at age 48. Miguel Cotto, great draw in New York. A lot of excellent fights for him over the years. Big weekend here. Mayweather Guerrero tomorrow night. Still time to get it. Call your pay-per-view operator or go to MaydayFight.com.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 8th round.
All right, so they'll tap it up, and we'll walk down the final round of this one. It has been a good one. Anthony Dirrell, 24-0, 21 knockouts. Don Mouton, 11-6-1, 9 knockouts.
Mouton came out strong here this last round. He might know he needs a stoppage here to make Anthony Dirrell work, and he's moving his hands as much as he can, even when he's tied up.
And what you're looking at is a carbon copy of this fight. Mouton right in the chest of Dirrell, and Dirrell punching off the ropes in this inside fight.
Both guys really not looking to save any energy. They know it's the last round. Both trying to leave it in the ring. You see Dirrell complaining about the head.
He's done that a number of times in this fight.
Yes, well, Mouton is coming in with his head, but you know what? A good sharp counter uppercut is rolls, bump him off with the elbow and come back with an uppercut with the opposite hand. That'll straighten him right back out and keep him from coming in with his head all the time.
There's a good uppercut from Dirrell. Oh, two nice shots by Dirrell, and Mouton right back on him.
Mouton has been the effort guy. Dirrell's been the skill guy. Even on the inside, it shows. Mouton is trying to move his hands however which way he can. Dirrell looks for spots and then puts his speed behind the shots and tries to get some distance on him.
Two shots by Dirrell, then a good body work package for him. But Dirrell is in new territory here in round 8. Hasn't been this long, so it's a good way to build up.
I'm sure it's even harder on him. Not that he's never been here, but he hasn't fought any rounds in a year and a half, so just the fact that he's in uncharted waters after a long layoff makes him dig a little deeper, but it's good for him.
Well, hot tub and massage maybe for him when this is over, and then maybe over to those gaming tables.
Yeah, I'll say. Or at least an ice bath first so you don't swell up so much.
The thing is 8-round company, and then that leads you to 10 rounds and then 12-round distance. So for Dirrell, this is a positive step in the direction of the length of his fights. And Don Mouton gave him all he wanted.
Made him work to the end.
Good fight. So these guys congratulate each other. Neither man took a step back voluntarily.
Nope.
Good pace to this fight throughout. I got the sense in talking to these guys yesterday that it's going to be a good action fight. Mouton had wins over Jerson Ravello and Walid Smachet. Very good fighters.
Some action in the last round. Neither. Oh,
And
recapping the whole fight.
If you think that you've seen this before, you have.
Yeah.
This is the whole fight.
Yeah.
All the time.
You see a piece of. See, at times you see Mouton's head in there. Then you see Dirrell moving his hands and making him pay for having that head laying in there. So good give and take from both guys. Mouton never shying away either. He was at a speed disadvantage, but moved his hands enough to even tire out Dirrell. If Dirrell would have to take breaks, Mouton would start up right away. You see it here.
Mouton keeps the pressure on. And these guys had a crowd-pleasing fight all the way through with that. All right, let's get the final numbers.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards, and here are the judges' totals. Judge Adelaide Bird has it 78-74. Judges Lefkowitz and Santos 77-75. All three for your winner by unanimous decision, and still undefeated, Anthony the Dog Dirrell.
Well, Dirrell gets the triumph, and if you're Mouton, looking at a 2-point loss on the cards, a little frustrating.